Peloton is amazing. This whole revolution and I don't even think they realize it I'm sure they do, but the stories that they have are generally, oh, I got my weight back, which to me is almost like the side effect of what has happened. Okay, I've gotten my weight back, but really the story is not what I've lost. The story is everything I've gained. I'm physically the best version of myself. I've taken what they've given me and I'm spreading that joy of indoor cycling. And I even mirror my classes definitely after Cody, after Robin. This comes from somebody who's fearful of Robin's Tabata. I incorporate Tabata in my classes and my members love it. They're like, how many Tabata intervals do we have this ride? So I use what I have seen as successful. And for me, that comes as Peloton. So I feel like I'm like an unofficial Peloton brand ambassador. I don't go around preaching, but I am doing what they have taught me.
It's more than just your output, more than a bike. When you hear your shout out, you know it's all right. Put on your magic pants and let's go. We're cruising into the power zone. Clip in, set yourself free. Come on and take a ride with me. You know what you need to know and what's it all about. Everything you need, it's on the Clip Out.
Welcome to the Clip Out, episode 151. This is Crystal O'Keefe.
And this is Tom O'Keefe.
You know, last week I was so crabby, I totally forgot to mention that it was like 150 episodes.
Oh, yeah. It was a milestone.
It was. Woo.
Well, this is episode 151.
Yeah.
And what we call that on Real Spoilers is a mild stone.
It is.
So there.
All right.
We can still celebrate.
Okay.
So, you were in a better mood.
Yeah.
Not much, but a little than you were last week.
Yeah.
And then you hurt your back.
Yeah. During a workout. I think it's because I've been sitting in the recliner too much.
To work.
Yeah.
Like working from home, but in the recliner with your laptop.
Exactly. It's super comfy, but I don't think it's super good for your back, in case anyone was wondering.
I mean, you think it's easy for me to be lazy, but I didn't just
Don't make me laugh. It hurts my lower back to laugh.
I didn't just jump right into it. Like I spent years working up to it.
Working up to not working out.
Right. And so I know it seems like, well, he can just lay around in the recliner all day and not have any issues. But that's because I've
done it over time.
Right. It's like a marathon. I'm like,
well, you know what I learned this week is that I've been spending too much time in the recliner. Also, I have not been stretching and I've been very tense. My jaw has been locked.
Yeah, I think all of America's jaw has been locked.
I believe it. I know I am not alone. I know that there are a lot of people who are very stressed and sad and angry and a whole gamut of emotions. And I feel you all, and I know that you feel me too, because y'all send some very, very nice messages. So thank you for caring, and just know that we care too, and we're not going to make this episode all about that.
Yes, we will do. I mean, obviously, there's some things that cross over.
Yeah.
Can't ignore it, but there's other things out there too, and I think we found quite a few of them.
We did.
So on that note, what, pray tell, do you have in store for people?
Well, no, I'm just kidding. We have a whole bunch of news pieces. There's things about Peloton's quote unquote competition. There's new stuff going on with Peloton. We've got instructor news. We've got new content to cover.
Awesome. Well, I guess before we get to all that, shameless plugs, don't forget we're available on Apple Podcasts or wherever you get your podcasts. Be sure and subscribe so you never miss an episode. And of course, check us out on Facebook at facebook.com/theclipout. While you're there, like the page, join the group. And of course, you can leave a review for us wherever you get your podcasts. We have a new review.
Well, I would like to hear it.
It's short and simple.
Okay.
This is from Eric in OKC.
Okay.
And he says, check your pod before you wreck your pod. All I want to do is zoom a zoom zoom and a boom boom and listen to the clip out. And I think this is very prescient because this was written prior to the coronavirus.
So there were no Zoom calls.
And he was already looking forward to Zoom calls.
Man, he was all over it.
Yes.
He was the Zoom prophet.
I think he probably works for the World Health Organization.
Could be.
So You can also check out our brand spanking new website at theclipout.com. And while you're there, sign up for the newsletter so you get all the links and all that stuff sent directly to your inbox.
Also, give us some feedback on that website.
Yeah.
One person has said something to me. One. And I know a lot more of you are out there. So I'm not saying you have to like it. It doesn't have to be good feedback. But just, I would like to know you're seeing it.
Yeah, we had a whole new website. It's totally different.
Yes.
We feel it's a market improvement. We're very excited about it.
Yes.
So, yeah, check that out and sign up for our newsletter and all that stuff. And I guess that's all of that. Let's dig in, shall we?
Sure.
It's time for News of the Peloton.
Some weeks, it is a struggle to figure out what it will be our lead story.
Yep.
This is not one of those weeks.
It is not.
Peloton has stopped live classes
Yep.
for the month of April.
They have. And, I think probably everybody knows, but just in case you do not,
Sure.
There was a positive case of the coronavirus within the Peloton studio. And so, at first they shut it down for a couple days, and then they decided to go ahead and stop filming throughout the month of April. And I think a lot of people sighed a huge sigh of relief.
Yeah. I know that there are some people, it's really weird just to see how vitriolic it can get on both sides of this issue.
Yes.
And there are some people that are like, we paid and you better keep doing this.
Right.
And then there are other people that are like, there's plenty of stuff out here for us.
Right.
You can take a beat.
Yeah. It's disappointing, really. It's disappointing. It brings me down because there's so many wonderful people in the Peloton community and everybody is entitled to their opinion. I just wish that they would state it nicely,
Yeah.
Like not be mean about it because just because you pay your money doesn't mean you're entitled to new classes. As a matter of fact, I don't think Peloton ever said that they guaranteed a certain amount of new classes. I mean, is that the expectation? Absolutely.
Sure.
These are not kind of. This is a very crazy, extraordinary time. And I mean that in the purest sense of the word, not like extraordinary in a good way.
Right.
It's just super crazy circumstances that nobody could have said this would be happening.
Yeah, you can't, as a business, ever predict something like this is going to occur and plan for it in your business model. So, yeah, I think you have to give a lot of businesses a little bit of a break. I know where I work, we were getting a lot of people mad because our shows weren't allowing refunds yet. And it's like, well, we're a Ticketmaster facility, and Ticketmaster had to literally change every show in America.
Right.
Simultaneously.
So, give them a second.
Yeah, they never envisioned a scenario where literally every concert in America would cancel or postpone
at the same time.
Simultaneously.
Yeah.
So it's like I get you want your $12 back for the circus.
Right.
But there's only so much they can accomplish in a day. And this is kind of a version of that. So I'm glad that they stopped.
I am too.
Yeah.
And, I haven't heard an update on that employee, but I hope they're okay.
Right.
And I hope that nobody else gets infected that knows them. Nobody ever.
Well,
I don't want anybody to be infected, just to be clear.
Hoping that they caught it before they're spreading it to other people.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So kind of while we're in.
Well, and this was all in the same communication that came out from Peloton.
Right.
So
while we're in a coronavirus corner.
Yep.
There's Peloton announced that there's going to be some financial assistance for people who can't afford to make their payments during this time.
That's right. So there's a link that you can go to. And if you're unable to not make, you can't make your payments for whatever reason, Peloton will take that into consideration. They are putting priority on those who have lost their job.
Sure. As well
directly related to the COVID, so keep that in mind. But they are accepting applications from everyone. There's a link out there. If you can't find the link, just head on over to the facebook.com/theclipout. You will see it there. And also, it will, of course, be on the newsletter if you sign up for that.
And they're also kind of tweaking their comeback program that they've been doing for a while.
Yes, very cool. What they've done is they've changed it so the next 100 bikes that are going to be given as part of the comeback program are going to be for frontline workers. So those in the medical community who are fighting COVID-19 right now. And oh my word, do they need it?
Yeah.
I don't know how many people that are on the front lines are even getting to listen to this because their world has been completely turned upside down. But I just want to send out a heartfelt thank you to all of you who are out there helping in any capacity. It's just heartbreaking. And the stories that I'm hearing, the messages that I get, just know that Tom and I are thinking of you. And if there's ever anything we can do, please let us know.
Absolutely. So segueing away from that for a little bit.
Yeah.
Can't promise it won't come up again at some point, but the Peloton workout app is now available on Android TV.
Yeah.
Which is the one Android device we don't have.
Yeah, like, explain this. I think the world is conspiring against me when it comes to this app because we just bought a Samsung television.
And all their phones operate on the Android platform.
Right. But we don't have Android TV on our brand new Samsung television. Y'all, come on. Like, seriously?
I honestly don't know. Are there Android branded televisions? I honestly have no idea.
There aren't, but I looked at, well, I didn't see any, but I did look at the list that they provided that, like, here's all the Android TV televisions.
Right.
And it was a wide variety. You know, I did not see Vizio on the list, so that made me feel better.
That the one we got rid of.
Right. Wasn't like full of Android TV.
Right.
You know? But yeah, I was more than a little disappointed that Samsung doesn't have that. It's just like the app world is just mocking me at this point.
I think they are.
I think they are too.
Well, you can still do it through the browser on the TV.
I can,
but
it just takes a lot longer to get it all set up. But that's okay. You know, whatever. We're fine.
There are certainly worse problems to have right now. We understand that.
Yes. Yes, I know. And I'm just trying to be lighthearted about it because it is funny. And yeah. So that's that.
So, but if you do have an Android TV,
you can now access Peloton.
Yeah, it's your lucky day.
Enjoy.
So there was an interesting article from BloombergLaw.com.
Yes.
About Peloton and another patent lawsuit that they have won.
Yeah. So do you want to try to explain this? Because this is kind of convoluted.
Yeah, it's a little convoluted. And John Mills actually found this article. This is where I spotted it. And so I'm going to paraphrase the way he summarized it.
Okay.
So if I'm wrong and I libel anybody, sue John Mills. That's what I'm getting at.
He's kidding, John.
No, I'm not. Please, don't sue us. She's trying to make it lighthearted, but no, don't sue us. No, seriously, though. So the way I understand this is that Peloton had worked with a company called VR Optics that was like designing their touchscreen.
Right. And this was way back in the day.
Right. This is like early on, 2012. Your Peloton, all the classes were still in black and white. It was a long time ago. And so they had hired this company and said, help us design our touchscreen. And while they were designing the touchscreen, they said to VR Optics, hey, it looks like one of your designs infringes on this other company's patent. Let's clean that up.
FYI.
Yeah, we found this. You did something that infringed on a patent. Let's not do that. And their response was to then go buy that company and then sue Peloton for infringing on the copyright that they now owned. Mm-hmm. And the infringement was something they had designed. Mm-hmm. So
there's some classy people.
Yeah. Like, and I also don't get, like, if you own it now, then how did you infringe on it? If you own it.
Because Peloton is now using it.
But you sold it to, I don't know. So it doesn't make a lot of sense. And Peloton won.
Yay!
So
that's all that matters.
They should, because that sounds pretty sleazy.
It does. And man, can we just give a little round of applause for the all the legal stuff that's getting cleaned up all of a sudden?
Totally.
You guys, Peloton law team, you're on a roll.
They are. And it's a shame because a lot of I don't know that it's really getting noticed in quite the same way that it would normally, which is a shame because there's this perception out there that like, oh, Peloton's getting sued left and right. And it's like, yeah, but they seem to be winning the lion's share of them. Mm-hmm. And the ones that they're not winning, they seem to be reaching like fairly amicable settlements so they can continue on about their business, which is ultimately what you want, right? So
Absolutely. I think it's just a lot of, people are like, oh, they're in trouble.
Right, yeah.
And then like a year and a half passes and then they're not in trouble anymore.
yeah, but
People have forgotten.
you don't get a 20-point font headline for that.
No, you don't.
You never do. But so anyway, there's
Being right is thankless.
don't I know it?
I know.
It's the cross-eyed bear. So ESPN.com had a story this week about the NFL and their love of Peloton.
Yeah. And I have to say, it's not just the NFL. It's also, there's the PGA is getting on board. And weren't there and the basketball people, because what's his name? Stephen Curry.
Stephen corrected me. It's Stephen. So Stephen Curry.
Oh my God. Gina and Nicole are both yelling at you right now. I'm going to get the messages. Yeah. So it's also basketball. So it's just like this whole gamut of pro sport people. Athletes. Yeah, that's a better word. I like that better. So they're all like teaming up and they're taking these classes together. And it's kind of like this open call to anybody who wants to join them.
Well, I stumbled on another article that I didn't share, but they were talking about. Oh, sorry.
I just want to point out that this awesome article was written by somebody who is a Peloton user, and I don't know that the person who wrote it is one of our listeners, but one of his friends is.
Oh, okay.
And he sent it to us and told us, like, heads up, this article is coming. So,
awesome. Well, that was very nice of him.
Yes.
I saw another article.
That was Jeff Shellman, by the way.
Well, thank you, Jeff. I saw another article.
Oh, fine. Let's talk about this other article.
That the NFL is trying to come up with some sort of a system because I guess the players get bonuses on their workouts, like as a way to make sure that they're working out.
Oh.
And so, but normally I guess they go into the NFL facilities, the team facilities, and do it there and can be monitored. And I guess it's part of it's like under the union contract. So it's like, it's not just a thing that the team can say, we're going to do it a different way now. Have at it. Like it has to be some.
It has to have like certain criteria for it to count.
And so teams are operating under the same system, right?
Makes sense.
They want parity with a T. And so like they're thinking that Peloton might be a way to help with that.
Oh, wow.
That because you can log in and they can monitor you, and
they can see your stats.
Right.
They can know how hard you're working.
Right. And they can see that you're actually doing it.
Yes.
And my guess is that if you're an NFL level athlete, you can't just like find somebody else to do it for you.
I mean, it's going to show.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, these guys are kicking out like 700 to 800 kJs in 45 minutes. So they don't want me hopping on their ride.
Right. So
I will severely ruin their average.
But I just thought that was interesting.
It's very interesting.
One, they're struggling with that because not every team has the same kind of money to have these intricate systems. And so they're trying to figure out a way to still allow for all that. So
I think it's great.
Just a little bit of sports knowledge that leaked into my head.
Woo!
It'll fall out soon.
I'm sure.
We found an interesting article from Medium.com from a former Peloton employee.
So I'm going to be honest. I didn't read this. You sent this to me when I was at work, and okay, I don't remember.
You should subscribe to our newsletter, and then it would get emailed to you.
I will.
And you'll be able to stay up to date on these things.
I just didn't get to read it ahead of time.
At theclipout.com.
I'm sorry.
So it's from Liz Colville, and it's entitled What I Saw at the Fitness Revolution. And she talks about her time at Peloton glowingly and how she misses working there and just what a great job they did.
Does it say why she left?
I think she just found a job that probably paid more. Or
I was just curious.
Moved up in position or something. Like it did not seem like it was a scorched earth. She was mad at them, but it's just an interesting look behind the scenes. It's pretty lengthy, as you can see as you scroll.
Yeah.
But it's just an interesting look behind the scenes at what it was like to work at Peloton.
Man, this looks like a great article.
I know. It's a shame somebody didn't send it to you so you could read it. Normally, this is the sort of stuff that I do.
Well, now you know how it feels.
People expect me to do this sort of stuff. They don't expect it from you.
Well, I just wanted to give you a taste of your own medicine, mister.
Okay, well, now say something funny and delightful. See, that's not easy either.
It's not. But when I tell you to say something funny, you always freeze up.
I know. It doesn't work like that.
It does not.
So moving right along, popsugar.com had a nice little review of the new dance cardio.
Yes. And it was complimentary, as it should be, because it's a lot of fun. And I think that they kind of felt the same way I did, because it's titled, I have a blast with Peloton's new dance cardio workouts, even though I have no rhythm. And that's totally me.
Did you write this?
No, but I could have.
Are you writing for Pop Sugar?
No, we'd be making more money. Well, I don't know, actually.
I don't know that we would.
Yeah. But this person is a gymnast and I am not. And so she has no rhythm. And she had a bad Zumba experience. So I understand that, because I also have had a bad Zumba experience. You know how you had the moment where you struck out at T-ball?
Yes.
I made a Zumba teacher yell at me. And I found out that you go to the back of the room when you don't know what you're doing.
Wow.
Yeah. So
they take it seriously.
Very seriously. And so that happens sometimes when you try new things.
Not that you're hurtful.
No.
Not that you're still bitter.
Not at all.
You're like tearing up a little bit just relaying the story.
One of my many humiliating moments. But that's why I loved the Peloton dance cardio, because even when I don't get it right, I'm not running into other people.
Right.
And there was no one stopping the class and the music to yell at me.
Right.
That didn't happen. So
it's a much more supportive environment.
It was. And I will also say I have tried a couple of these now. And if you've tried one and you're like, ooh, that was a little over my head. I had that same experience the first time that I did one. And then I tried the one with Emma and Cody.
Right.
And it was broken down to my speed.
Gotcha.
I'm not saying everybody needs that speed, but I do. I need it to be broken down very slowly throughout. When you add on new steps, we got to go back to the beginning and do it slow again. And they did that, and it was perfect for me.
They can't just be like, okay, duck turn, pirouette,
right,
leapfrog, go.
Right.
Like, no.
And because I'm like, what?
Huh?
Yeah.
I got duck. But you didn't follow it with goose, and so I'm really confused.
Yes. So I definitely agree that it is a blast. And if you have not tried it, you absolutely need to. And it's just so much fun. And it's a great way to hang out with the kids because, you know, they're not doing anything right now. They need to get up off the couch, too.
Before they hurt their backs.
Yes.
They also need a dance class that replicates like the square dancing in gym class from grade school.
Oh, my God.
That was the worst.
You know, okay, I'm such a nerd. I loved that.
Oh, my God.
Not only did I love it, but we had like another, like when I was in high school, we had a unit on square dancing, which then was followed by line dancing. A unit on line dancing. I was in heaven.
You definitely grew up in the middle of Missouri.
I did, but I could boot scoot boogie like nobody's business.
You didn't get Zumba to the back of that class.
I did not. I had that shit down. You know, it's because they call it and it's the same every time.
Right. There's only so many variations on scooting your boots.
Exactly. That is my kind of dance. And yes, I know that makes me a giant nerd. And I'm okay with that.
I didn't know anybody liked square dancing. This is...
Yeah, I know. I'm not proud of it.
I see why you waited until we were married for 5 years before you told me this.
I'm not proud of it.
Nor should you be. So
you collect comic books. Shut up.
Yeah, but you do that. You went in knowing that.
Well, it's not like I make you do the dance with me.
Well, I don't make you read the comic books.
I've never been like, let's go square dancing. Sheesh.
So USA Today had a 5-part series on working out from home.
They did.
And they had a nice little feature on Peloton and how they bring community to those at home during the coronavirus.
They do. And they featured Dennis Morton right there on the front page of the article.
Yeah. And
it talks all about how all the different content that Peloton has and different ways that they engage you. It's very good. And it's true because here's a sentence from it. Running the same 3 miles gets boring real fast. You can only do so many push-ups, sit-ups, and planks, but Peloton's apps has thousands of classes in its catalog and more than 32 instructors producing new classes. So, yes, it's so true. It keeps me going.
Except for when you hurt your back.
Well, that's my fault.
And then Robin Arzon was on Good Morning America.
Yeah, and I didn't get to watch the segment, but
It's because I sent it to you.
I knew you were all over it.
I see how it
So did
goes.
you watch it?
No.
Wait, wait. When I send you stuff, I've watched or read it.
Right. I'm sending it to you to vet to see if it's worth talking about. What? You're the gatekeeper for the clip out.
Huh.
And I'm just a wacky sidekick.
Wacky sidekick. You are wacky. So she was on Good Morning America and she was telling them some great stuff about Peloton.
Was she?
Yeah. No, in all sincerity, she was talking about staying healthy mentally while you're at home, while you're stuck at home. Obviously, there are a lot of different emotions that people are experiencing. Some good, some bad. And I don't know if you're like me, it vacillates all day long. I could cry or yell or curl up in the fetal position. And I might also laugh from insanity all in one day.
All at the same time.
I haven't done it all at the same time.
Oh, haven't you though? Haven't you though?
But she talked about ways that you can use the Peloton app or other apps to stay in a good space because it is hard. I mean, there's so much change right now, you know?
Yeah.
Even if you're in an area where you're not just completely confined to your house all day long, the world has changed.
Absolutely.
And probably forever. I mean,
Right.
I'm not saying the current state will be forever,
Right.
but like
But
things...
whenever we're allowed to go back out, it's going to be different. Yeah, totally.
And so, yeah, it was a great conversation.
Yeah. And then just quick follow-up. Haven't you though?
Why are you picking on me?
That's what I do.
You want to upset me?
Have you? Wait, we've done 150 of these. Have you not listened to any of them?
Oh, I listen. Here's an app for you. It's called Happify. You get to play games with a purpose.
Okay.
You like to play games on your phone?
But I don't like there to be purpose.
Well, it just means that you progress, so it doesn't have to be
I see.
like a grand purpose.
I'm on like level 3020 of Toon Blast.
I know. And I think that you completely beat Bubble Witch 3. Like, didn't you run out of levels?
I ran out of levels. They made more. So like I play for a while and then I max it out and then I go back. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
So how's Fight Camp going?
It's going very well. It's not going to go well today.
Right.
Because I will not be fighting.
Is there like a corner man that'll give you like some sort of like inspirational speech?
You don't need that because when you're doing the workout, they integrate that in. Man, I tell you what, these workouts are like so hardcore, but I mean that in the best way. You know, it's like these sit-ups and these planks and you're punching at the top of the sit-ups and you're punching while you're in the plank position. First of all, can I just like take a moment to celebrate the fact that I can even stay in a plank and then do punches? Because a year ago, I couldn't have done that. 6 months ago, I couldn't have done that. Honestly, between Tonal and Peloton, that has gotten me there. Doing all the other strength work.
Right.
I'm able to do that. And I can even do like elevated foot push-ups now. I couldn't have done that.
Look at that.
I know. It's pretty exciting. That was just a moment of happiness. See, I vacillate.
Yes, I see that.
And when you're doing these workouts for Fight Camp, it's like I'm using all of the things I've learned thus far and I'm incorporating in one place. And it's such a great workout. And I cannot believe how much you sweat in 15 to 20 minutes because 4 rounds, I've only done the 4-round workouts. I'm working through what they call the prospect path. So you learn to do each of the different moves and you kind of learn, you know, they keep adding on to them as you go through it. And they're all about 4 rounds. And then as you progress, they have longer ones. So you have like an 8 round and then you have a 10 round. And so I'm still in the 4 round. They're all about 15-minute workouts for the 4-rounders. They're great. And I really enjoy getting to know the different instructors and to know the different moves. So when they call out the combos, now I've learned them. So it's really cool. And I really like that they've added all this content on YouTube, different ways for you to get to know the instructors, different ways for you to work out at home, even if you don't have the equipment. Now they have shadow boxing, like they tell you how to modify it into shadow boxing. So
Right.
even if you don't have the bag, you can still get a great workout.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Well, if you would like to check it out, you can go to joinfightcamp.com. And if you're looking for something to augment your Peloton, it's a great choice.
It is a great choice.
And if you're looking for something that doesn't have a long waiting list because they don't have to be delivered by a special team because of installation, I don't want to make it sound like people aren't interested in it.
Oh, yes, because let me tell you, people are snapping them up like hotcakes.
Absolutely, but because it doesn't require special installation, they don't have to have a special team to deliver it. You assemble it yourself in your house. It's really simple. Even we did it.
Yes.
But it's not something you're going to have to wait a long time to get right now.
Right.
So go to joinfightcamp.com for more information.
And if you do purchase it, don't forget to fill out the survey at the end and tell them that the Clip Out sent you.
Yes, please. We have another new celebrity sighting.
Yes.
And it is New Kids on the Block.
Yeah. Did you like New Kids on the Block? Were you?
No.
Okay, me either.
No.
I never was. I wasn't into the boy bands.
There's only one boy band that matters.
And that is?
The Monkees.
Right. Yeah. So I was never into the boy bands.
Yeah. But I mean, they weren't for me. And they came on the scene when I was like 20, 21
you had
years
aged
old.
out.
So, I mean,
But I know you have an appreciation for like hooks in music, even when it's not something that you like. So
Totally.
I didn't know. I could see that going either way.
I will say if I had to pick one, I'd probably like Backstreet Boys or NSYNC more than New Kids.
Okay.
Like the New Kids songs, I just didn't do a whole lot for me, even just from a that's a good pop song standpoint. But obviously, lots of people love New Kids.
Oh yeah, totally. They are much loved.
Yeah, but they were doing an online Q&A sort of thing. A lot of people
and they did it from
that.
home. They were all online together.
And one of them, I think it was Jimmy Kidd or Kevin Block. I don't know.
Are you making up these names?
I'm pretty sure I am.
Okay.
If I got it right, I apologize. It was on accident.
Okay.
One of them, you could see a Peloton in the background.
Yes.
And I didn't watch the whole thing because one, it was like an hour and a half long, and two, it was New Kids on the Block.
Right.
But they apparently, it sounds like they all have them. Like at some point,
That's cool.
I read someone talking about it, and it made it sound like at some point they all were like, oh yeah, we all have them.
That'd be great if they did rides together and then did a synchronized dance while they were riding.
But I mean, it would make sense that they would need something with lots of cardio.
Absolutely.
Dancing is still a huge part of their show.
And that is not easy to sing and dance at the same time.
And really, as much as I kind of make fun of them, that was kind of before all the lip syncing and stuff. I don't know if they do that to some degree now or not, but when they were coming up, it was before that was kind of prevalent. And so you still, if you were doing both, it's because you were actually doing both.
Right.
Unless you were Milli Vanilli.
Yeah.
So they need to be in shape.
Absolutely, they do.
Even now that they're in their 50s. What?
You in their 50s. Oh my God, I feel so old now. Thanks, Tom.
No problem. It's what I do. I found an interesting blog post.
Yes, you did.
Did you read this one?
I mean, I started to. I did skim it. This was not a full read.
Yeah. It's from a blogger named Allison, and I just thought it was interesting because the headline was, I bought a Peloton and I am neither rich nor thin.
Yeah. And she has a picture of herself and she's a real person.
Right. I wouldn't describe her as heavy, but she's a regular, normal, everyday human being.
She's not somebody you would call a Barbie doll thin or anything like that. She's got curves and she's got a real body. And so, she talks about the fact that she became a full-time blogger and she hired a personal trainer. And somewhere along the way, she decided to get a Peloton and she absolutely fell in love with it, which I love hearing that story because it's I've been there. I've tried different ways to exercise. I've tried going to the gym. I've tried working out with other people. And Peloton is the only thing that's ever stuck for me.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's basically what this woman was saying.
And I just thought it was a nice point of view because, there's so much kind of snark out there about Peloton in terms of it's for rich and thin people. And it was just nice to see someone saying that's not true.
I agree. And it's a very nicely done blog too.
It was. So SoulCycle is doing virtual guided workouts on the Sirius channel.
Yeah, so you might remember several months ago, we talked about how they started up a Sirius channel and it was all about motivational quotes from their instructors. Well, now they've kind of repurposed that because they don't have gyms open. So they started doing these guided workouts on the channel.
I think that is smart
I think it's smart.
For Sirius XM because, people aren't commuting anymore.
Right.
And so that's when most people use their Sirius subscription. And
but I don't know. I'm really curious the percentage of people that have Sirius in their homes, because I never did that whenever I had Sirius in my car.
Yeah, I don't think most people do, but some people do. You can get a little device that lets you, or now you have an app that you can stream it through.
But you have to pay extra for it.
Yeah, but a lot of people, it's just bundled into their package. And yeah, I mean, I agree. I think most people think of Sirius as something for in their car, and I think this is smart for Sirius XM to try to be like, hey, try and listen to it in your house. Here's a reason to. I don't think very many people will do it, but it's at least one way to try and remind their users that it works in your house too.
Yeah, and it's a good way to remind SoulCycle users that, SoulCycle's still out there hanging around trying to beat this virus so they can come back.
Oh yeah, SoulCycle. So then you found an article that isn't necessarily Peloton related, but was just kind of an interesting story.
Did you read this one?
No, just on general principle. I was like, F this article. I'm not going to read it. Take that.
Well, I told you all about it, so it doesn't matter.
I know. That's why I didn't read it. I'm like, I started skimming and I'm like, yeah, you told me all this. So it's about a triathlon athlete.
Not just an athlete. She's a 3-time Ironman winner.
Whoa.
Champion.
So she's the real deal.
She is the real deal.
She ain't messing around. And she was doing like a virtual Ironman race.
Obviously so many of the races have been canceled for obvious reasons.
Right.
So Ironman decided to do a virtual series, and she was participating and she was winning until
her husband decided to try and inspire her
by bringing in trophies.
Here are some of your other trophies
that you won.
You winner.
And then he kicked the cord and unplugged her and disconnected her, therefore disqualifying her from the race.
Oof.
Oh, Tom.
So how's he doing? Is he out of traction yet, or
there have been no reported sightings? I don't know.
I would just if you were doing something like that and I tripped over the cord, I would just keep walking right out into the garage, get in my car, and just fly to another country that I'm not going to name because I don't want you to know where I'll go if something like this happens.
Okay.
I have a country, but I'm not going to tell you.
Okay.
I just need that escape hatch and just change my name. and you would just never hear from me again.
You're just going to leave your kids behind?
Yeah, he's old enough. The one's over 20 and the other one, he's close enough.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. The shame would be too much to bear.
Well, the good news is you would never get close enough to the bike to unplug it.
Fair enough.
So I think you're safe.
I think so.
Also, I'm not going to be competing anytime soon. And even if I were, I certainly would not be winning.
But if you were even going to complete and I did it, you'd be mad.
I would.
Yes.
I would be. Like, I'm not even going to try to spin that another way.
No.
There would be yelling. I might throw things. Like, that might push me right over the edge.
Never stop a woman from finishing. What? I'm in a race.
Right.
Why are you giggling like that?
It was so obvious and yet unexpected. I have known you so long and I didn't see it coming. Oh, shut up. Moving on.
Maybe it's because I've never stopped you. So, have we figured out, in all seriousness, how the virtual Ironman measures the swimming portion?
No, I meant to look that up. Okay, I gotta look that up because we have to.
Yeah, because I was like, bike and running, I get, but like you're gonna get electrocuted swimming if they put the tracker on you. I know they got the watches and stuff, and maybe is that what they're doing?
I don't know.
I was just curious. So anyway, that's a little project for you. Someone will probably email it to you. You'll forget because it's about you'll think it's an article I sent you, but and then someone will email it to you. Wish they could see the face you're making. Hey, we still have a contest going on.
We do?
Yeah, to win a free tonal.
It's going to be a very lucky person.
It is.
I'm super stoked.
I am so glad we have this special fancy dancy website that selects a winner for us.
I know, because I just don't even know what I would do.
Yeah, it would, we need someone to take the responsibility off our shoulders.
Yes.
Because it's such an amazing prize.
It is.
I was also very excited. So I get the Shout Factory newsletter, and Shout Factory is it's kind of like how Rhino used to be for videos. Rhino ended up focusing pretty much only on music, but they used to do videos too. And so they put out Mystery Science Theater 3000 and Bob Newhart box sets and Mel Brooks box sets, all sorts of stuff like that. And so that's why I'm on it, because it's kind of very nerd focused. And they were doing a contest where you could win like $200 shopping spree from Shout Factory. And they were using the same website and same contest
the same one we're using.
Mechanism that we're using. So I was like, oh, cool. We must have a good one if someone like Shout Factory is using it.
Well, it has a lot of really cool features built in.
It does. So you should check it out just for that.
Yeah.
For all the cool little bells and whistles. But you can find it at theclipout.com/tonal or in your weekly newsletter or at our Facebook page. And there'll be a question that you have to answer. And if you answer that question, they're not typically too hard. And we tell you where to go find the answer. So we're not trying. It's not like homework. It's pretty simple.
Yeah.
And my guess is a lot of them you can kind of guess the answer if you really wanted to.
I think that you could. And let me just say, if you were to visit our incredibly awesome website, you would notice that there's a complete listing of every word we say in every episode past a certain point.
Yeah.
Hint.
So it's pretty spoon-fed to you. It's not as difficult as it might sound if you haven't entered yet. And every week is a new opportunity. So it's not like you've missed your chance. And it's cumulative, so people can enter again and again each week. And there's also other bonus things for whether you want to go and find Tonal on Facebook or check out Crystal on Instagram, whatever, all sorts of things like that get you extra entries. So we're getting closer and closer. We just did
I think we did week 4.
Week 4.
So we're getting ready to do week 5. So when this posts, this will be week 5.
This will be week 5.
So we are over halfway through.
We're essentially the halfway point. So we're getting closer and closer to someone walking away.
Oh my gosh.
With a free Tonal. Really cool.
Wow. I'm excited. I can't wait to find out who it's going to be.
I know.
Because there are a ton of people that have entered.
Yeah, we've had lots of people enter. So awesome. So once again, theclipout.com/tonal.
Okay, so I just want to head back to this whole virtual race thing. I looked it up.
You looked it up.
I looked it up. Here's the thing. It's races, but they're not doing a triathlon. So they're doing like duathlons.
Okay.
So the one that was done last week was a duathlon. So Miranda Carefrey was one of the professional athletes. It was her that her husband made her lose.
Right.
And but she was like one of the people they mentioned as the pro virtual race. Like they were like, we have 4 women racing the bike portion. She was first. Gosh.
Oh, that poor guy.
Yeah.
Well, Mr. Miranda Carefrey, if you need a place to stay, we have a guest bedroom.
No, I can't let him, just on principle.
I can. I feel his pain.
Okay, but speaking of contests.
Yes.
Do you remember when we did the Awesome Stronger You giveaway?
I do.
Okay, so in case that you weren't a listener back then, we had a giveaway. It was a challenge that we did the Clippo Bingo challenge.
Clip out bingo.
Yes, it's called Clippo. Kinda.
I think only you called it that.
I know. Every once in a while, somebody mentions it. Anyway, it doesn't matter.
It was like fetch. You tried to make it a thing, but it didn't. It didn't take.
Do we have to talk about all my failures today? So anyway, we had this awesome bingo contest, and Dane Newman was the winner. And he posted today an update, which I could not believe that it had already been 10 weeks since we had that contest.
I know, right?
Yes. And guess what? Dane has lost 37 pounds in 10 weeks. And he is thrilled with Stronger You. So just wanted to put that out there for anybody that's thought about it, wasn't sure. There you go.
And I thought his take on Stronger You was like it
was just super like on point details
and like realistic.
Yes.
Because he was very much like, I don't necessarily do everything they say, and it is not always easy because
at the end of the day, it's all up to like no one's making you do it,
right?
And it's all about teaching you better habits, but you got to get past the part where you do the things you shouldn't do, and that's hard. And he's clearly doing it because that's a lot of weight that he lost. So
yeah, totally, especially in just 10 weeks.
Gosh,
yeah,
that's almost 4 pounds a week. He's killing it.
So well done.
Yes, congrats, Dane. That's a double congrats. He won twice.
Yes, he did. So there is a new spring line coming.
Yes. So I know that we just had a spring line drop.
I know.
But it was like a micro little capsule collection, and it was all Nike. And boy, are there a lot of Nike haters out there. I had no idea people still reserved that much hatred for Nike. Not because I care one way or another, just didn't know. Don't pay attention.
Yeah.
But anyway, there is a full spring line that is dropping April 14th. So get your shopping fingers ready because you're going to have to beat me to it. Got some referrals.
So please
burning a hole in my pocket.
Please get them ready.
Whenever I find out dates like that, just so you guys know, it's often the day before or 2 days before or a day after. So like consider it an approximate symbol before the 14th.
Bit of a window.
Yes.
Yeah. So we did another Zoom call last weekend.
We did.
That was fun.
It was. And I keep confusing people by telling them last minute. So I thought we would use this opportunity to tell people now. We're going to commit now, Tom.
Okay.
So when do you want to do the next Zoom call? You want to just make it a Sunday thing?
Sure, we can do that.
And then it's just every Sunday afternoon?
Or should we do like Saturday night and just...
No one wanted to be there on Saturday.
We tried. I don't know if we just didn't give them enough notice, we could have like a cocktail party.
Well, we could. But we need to be very specific. So we're already waffling. This is why I don't tell people ahead of time, because we waffle. We're wafflers.
Waffles.
You get to go off your diet this weekend.
I am going to go off my diet this weekend. I've been very good. I've been low carbing it since January 2nd. I've not taken a break.
And you are looking so thin. I'm so proud of you.
So yeah, I'm going to go off of it this weekend. So I don't know. We could either do Sunday or we could try and see if Saturday works better if we give people more advance notice. It's not like they have places to go.
I don't know. They still might be having their own parties. Okay, well, what time do you want to do it Saturday?
7 Central.
Okay, so 8 o'clock Eastern.
Right.
7 Central. And Zoom. There will be a link. It will be posted on Facebook and Instagram. So watch for it.
Yes. And within the Facebook group.
Yes, within the Facebook group. I will ask, because we have our very good friend Gina, who is giving us the Zoom link to be able to be used. So we can't record them anymore. That's just, her company doesn't allow that. So we're not going to be able to record them anymore. But we can still use it.
So I can get topless.
Nobody wants to see that.
They don't. I let the mirrors fog up before I take off my clothes to get in the shower.
So I'll ask Gina if maybe she can set it up, and I can include it in the newsletter for next weekend.
Okay.
So I have to wait, that won't work. That won't work, guys, because I don't usually send out the newsletter till Sunday.
Well, you could set up the following weeks.
Yeah, I could do that.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, we'll see how many of you show up Saturday, 7 Central, 8 Eastern. There will be a link again posted in the Facebook group and on Instagram. And if people show up, then I will include one for the following weekend in the newsletter.
Awesome. Peloton has family classes now available.
Yeah. So when are you going to take one? Because it's family. It's like for the whole family.
Why would I do that?
Well, because it's for the whole family. And I thought, since we're stuck at home, we could all hang out together and do
I'll watch.
So it's kind of annoying because, once again, they put it on the app. And once again, I don't have any kind of way to see all the classes together. But if you're in the same boat as me, you can just, hop on over to the cardio section and then you can pick through and find them that way. It's not nearly as quick and concise,
right?
But it's doable. And very fun classes. They have some stuff that's kind of like some PE style classes that you can do with the kids. So it's good. I'm glad that they're adding creative activities and stuff.
And PE style classes, that's great for if your kids are homeschooling at the moment.
PE classes.
Yeah, because a lot of kids, especially in grade and middle school, they're still making them do a PE segment.
Yep, that's true. That reminds me, Sydney keeps not doing hers, so I need to get on that.
Yeah, she's never going to remind you. I promise you that.
I know.
Yeah, she gets that from me, which is weird because she's not my kid, but
yeah,
but something took.
Yeah.
And finally, all of the Peloton Power Zone instructors are doing an encore FTP test together.
Yeah, so it's the first time this has ever happened. They're all going to do an FTP test at the same time. This has never been a thing.
Okay.
So if any of you are following along with Power Zone, you need to check this out. Sunday, 1 p.m. Eastern, and you too can take your FTP test at the exact same time as the Peloton instructors.
Awesome.
Very cool.
Checking in with the Peloton community.
So joining us today via the magic of Skype-a-phone is Priyanka Gadinski. Hi.
Hi, guys.
So my first question always is, how did you find Peloton?
Oh my gosh. So for me, it was almost like I took the largest gamble in my entire life. I have never been on a spin bike. I never knew anybody who took a spin class. My background, I used to be a model and bodybuilder, so I never really focused in on cardio. So never really did cardio my entire 20s. So really, I saw this commercial on TV, and I think it was Robin Arzón, and I was like, yes, I think I need this. And literally, I remember September 17th, I'm like, I need to buy this. We budgeted it out. The gym just wasn't a practical approach for us. Between the two kids, it was my husband Brian would go to the gym 2 days a week, and then I would go to the gym 2 days a week, and nobody was losing any weight. So it was just not working out. So we were so excited. October 1st, 2018 is when we got our Peloton. So it was a 100% gamble.
Aw, your Peloversary.
So why do you think that resonated with you? I mean, I'm sure you've seen commercials for similar fitness equipment. Like why, or I should say equipment that claims to be similar.
Yeah, for sure.
Like, why do you think that resonated with you more than, I don't know, a Bowflex or a NordiTrack or something?
I really think, I don't know. I hate to say that Robin is my spirit animal, but it was literally just her. She was also on Good Morning America, and it was just like her personality, her drive. And I'm like, you know what? I can do that. So for the first time in a very long time, I had confidence in myself that I said, you know what? This is something I can do. This is someone I can aspire to emulate. So that for me was really why I connected with Peloton. And literally Robin is one of my favorite instructors for that reason, because, she probably doesn't know it, but she has been a huge catalyst in me finding myself again.
Okay, so if you got your bike in October and it's now February, so you've had the bike for...
Oh, no, 2018.
Okay, so it's been a little over a year. It's been about a year and a half. Okay, all right. And then you subsequently lost quite a bit of weight after you got the bike, right?
Right. So, so my issue was with each kid. So when I got married in 2014, I was 165 pounds, had the first baby, put on 60 pounds. And then with my whole gym rhetoric, lost about 20, 30 pounds in the following year. And then by my next pregnancy, I'm like, I've got this. I'm going to macro plan it. I'm going to watch my diet. And I did everything right. And we come to the realization it's just hormones. And I gained 60 pounds again. So literally, we got the bike October 1st, 2018, but I really didn't start my diet journey until December 24th, which is when I was officially done nursing my second child.
Okay.
Simply because what happened, I don't like a seizure disorder. So when my sugar is out of sync, I have essentially had a convulsion. Once it was at a gym, I had to step off an Ally Love ride and I almost went through my coffee table. So the nursing thing wasn't helping with the amount in didn't match the amount out and I wasn't losing anything. So at some point I'm like, you know what? I cannot drive myself crazy. So then December 24th, I'm tracking my macros. I'm doing, and it was really something simple, 30 minutes a day. That's all I had said to myself, 30 minutes a day, every other day. So that's 4 times a week.
Yeah.
And that's how I started. That was my original goal. And, Peloton just became this obsession where it was like, oh, I can do 30 minutes. What more can I do? Which then added in, okay, so by 30 minutes, I'm going to add in 10 minutes arms toning after every ride. And then what more can I do? And of course, my 30 minutes had to be chiseled out of a day, which I don't have. So I actually found a new hour for myself, which I call my 4 a.m. workouts. So I would wake up I need a little bit of time to get it together. So I would wake up 3:15, have my coffee, my protein waffle, and start working out at 4. And it just increased. And eventually I even stopped tracking how much I weigh, because at this point, the weight loss is just a side effect of what I'm doing. It's really not, my goal is not the number anymore.
So I would like some insight. You said you began on December 24th.
2018.
No, I'm more focused on the December 24th part.
Like Christmas, yes.
Yeah. So like on Christmas Eve, you're like, oh, I will deprive myself of things. Like you could have done December 26th.
You're right.
But you started on just, I would like some insight as to what the thought process was there.
It was just one of those things. Like, I'm like, I just can't wait anymore. And I'm a teacher. So we had a week to start planning. So, we said, we don't need an extravagant Christmas dinner. Let's just start tracking now. We're both home. We can prep all our meals, get everything done, which is why December 24th really worked for us, because we were both home to get everything together.
Oh, so your husband, Brian, also helps. Yeah,
so
he works out. He's doing all these things too.
Oh, absolutely. He has also lost. Well, he was fit, but he's lost about 30 pounds. He's gotten himself from a size large to a medium. And now he used to be a 36-30. Now he's like 33-30, but he was never big to begin with. So for him, it was more to support me, which makes him wonderful because he does all the cooking.
Tom, I hope you're taking notes.
Well, I do a podcast. That should count for something.
It does. It does. I mean, it's not the same, but it is a big thing.
So I should cook and stop doing the podcast?
No, never mind. This did not go the way I had planned.
She just wants you to cook. That's it.
Until I do it, then she'll be like, oh, stop doing that.
So, but you were tracking and you were doing the bike. So how much did you end up losing?
So in 7 months, I lost 60 pounds and I'm back at my pre-baby weight. So I'm back to my 2014 self, which
that's
wow.
great.
Huge,
well done.
Right. Huge.
Yes. Thing. Congratulations. That's got to feel amazing.
Mm-hmm. Oh, absolutely. I don't even know who I am anymore sometimes. No, I do. I feel like this person was just like lost in that whole hustle bustle of momhood. And personally, I've always been an awkward mom. Like I never fit in with the other moms. I never had like interest in things they did. Like I've always been active. Like I'd like to do things. I've never been a drinker. So like wine, never like a wine night out, like, oh great, let me just have some water. So that never really resonated with me. So I was always like the awkward mom that never fit in anywhere. So
I totally relate to that. Yeah.
So for me, like my husband's like, let's go hiking. Yeah, let's go hiking. Let's go do this. So I'm like a doer. I like doing things. So now that I can actually do things, I mean, for me, I can't imagine a year and a half ago, I had knee pain from just going up and down the stairs. Like I was unable to carry the baby because I didn't trust myself for my leg to not give out going down the stairs.
Wow.
That's the condition I was in after 2 babies. And I'm like, this is terrible. Honestly, that was one of my red sirens going off in front of my face because I literally just saw my mother. My mother can't even walk a mile in the cold without her knees hurting for the rest of the week. So for me, that was just like, you cannot turn into your mother. You need to fix this now. And it's not like you're young, so I had to figure it out. So
are you riding the bike? Is that your sole exercise or do you do other things?
So for me, from December 24th, till around June. So like the school year. So I was 100% dedicated on the bike. And it was just this chance visit. I went to the studio and I was really scared because I went by myself, but my mom came and supported me. She didn't actually take a class. So she just came to the studio with me. So she's like, you can do it. And then something inside me was like, I'm so excited to be here. So I had originally signed up for a 45-minute ride with Cody. It was like a Sunday. But then I got there really early and there was a 30-minute walk-in. And they're like, do you want to get on the 30-minute ride? And I was like, okay. So I got on the 30-minute ride. And then I did my 45-minute ride. And then I asked them if they had any open spots for Emma, which was like in an hour. They're like, yeah, would you like there's like 4 bikes left. Do you want to go on one? I was like, yeah, I'll pay for it. So I took another 45-minute ride. And this was the girl that was literally just doing 30-minute rides plus 10-minute arms and toning every other day. Maybe like at this point, maybe like 6 times a week. But really, that's all I was doing, 40 minutes on the bikes tops. So when I did that, and I wasn't tired the next day. That was the big thing. Like when I did that, I realized that I am capable of more, that I can do more. And then it became like, well, what else can I do? So it like opened up a new door for me where my fitness level was tested and I was just amazed, you know.
So you mentioned that you also have like other jobs that you do.
Oh my gosh. I work all the time. I hate it. So I'm a full-time high school teacher. I teach biology and algebra 2. I dislike where I work, but I love my job and they pay me a lot, so I can't leave. And of course, benefits, all that good stuff. So if I leave, I start down on the pay scale. I've been teaching for 11 years and I feel a part of me is like burned out. So yeah. I also tutor part-time because daycare isn't cheap.
It sure isn't.
Oh my gosh. And I used to tutor about 10 hours a week and I literally want to stab myself in the eye at some points now. Part of the burnout I'm talking about, I'm literally just bored. I sit in place for like 4 hours. I can't do it anymore. So I've cut my tutoring schedule down to 5 to 7 hours a week. And then, so I thought in my head, I can do this. So I was a dancer. I was more specifically a classical Indian dancer by training from like 3 years old to about 26. I pretty much retired out of the entertainment industry. I used to model, do commercials, like the little stuff. It would be like fun side jobs. But by the time I hit 26, 27, I figured I need to settle down, you know, find Mr. Right, do all those things.
Did you?
I did. He's amazing. I mean, come on. He literally cooks and preps every little thing in a container. All I have to do is, and I don't have to wait. I don't have to pack my lunch in the morning. My lunchbox is ready. My coffee is ready. I literally just come downstairs, eat my breakfast. That's already heated, by the way. Walk out of the house and go to work. So he's amazing. So yes, I
am officially jealous.
I'm keeping him. Yes, I have to keep him. I have to. But no, I lost my train of thought. Oh, so I love Bollywood music, and my entire family has always been a part of Bollywood. My mother was a singer when she was younger. I've done a few shows in my like teens to early 20s. My uncle's a current actor. My other uncle used to be a singer, so he's got a couple of songs out there. And I just love Bollywood music. And I felt that, you know, indoor cycling could really use a little bit of the Indian flavor. So that I made it my mission that I wanted to bring that Bollywood fusion ride, that the music that I love, that is organic to me. I can't just be one person that loves this music. You know, this music resonates with probably 500 million people around the world.
Yeah,
so
that's huge.
Yeah.
So initially I had gotten an offer from Cycle Bar. However, I did not pursue that because it later came out that I wouldn't be able to really go do what I wanted to do. I'm not really looking to maybe I make another career, but right now I just want to get started, get my foot into the fitness industry because I am a complete newbie. Granted, my master's in math education is not going to help me right now. So I'm learning from the ground up. So there was a local gym opening up and the general manager is pretty much like, you do whatever you want to. I'm going to trust you. You're going to run the ride program and do whatever you want. So I'm one of the lead instructors there and I do 5 classes a week currently. And here's what's insane. I do like tomorrow it's 6:45 and the 8 o'clock class. They're both 45-minute formats. Oh. How I haven't died yet, I don't know, but I love it. I love every minute of it. In fact, all the negatives of my job have just like magically, not that they've disappeared, but they've become more bearable. But another reason I love it is my riders are loving the different music I'm putting in. So they're hearing Indian artists, they're hearing Indian music, and they're loving it, and they're loving my rides, which has been great. So I have been selling out all my rides, which is, to me, it's insane. Especially when I have back-to-back rides and they're both packed, it's crazy.
That's so exciting.
That's really cool. So it's not necessarily bringing in people who like the music. It's exposing people that were unfamiliar to new things.
Yes.
That's so cool.
That's cool.
I literally have maybe 3 Indian people take my class. So for my people, spinning is not, I think, any kind of exercise. I mean, think about it. Indians don't even make it to the Olympics. We're not a people that exercise. So for me, especially when I look at my mom, I feel like my mom is an inspiration to do the things that will not make me her. So I look at it as...
That should be in a Mother's Day card.
It took you guys a minute to get there. But,
It did. I was like, wait.
And it's the second time you said something like that. I was like, I hope your mom doesn't listen to this.
Oh, she knows. She knows. Literally every text message I get from her, my knees are hurting. My back is hurting. It's just every day. And she's not even old. She's 59. So it kills me when she says these things. She's like, oh, I'm old. I'm done. I can't do this. I'm just like that.
That's so sad.
So anyway, so my point was, so in India, there's a huge fitness revolution. And I feel that I would like to be part of bringing this indoor cycling to India. I just don't think anyone understands the value. People just look at it as you're riding a bicycle. That's not at all what it is. For me, it has been, I've pretty much gotten my life back. My heart works better than it ever has. I have more energy than I've ever had. I'm the fittest I've ever been. And I say that, and to me, it's like insane. I used to be a bodybuilder. Like, how am I fit now? But so I think my lofty goal, which obviously may be like a 5-10 years down the road, I would love to see more Bollywood fusion rides happening and maybe even bring indoor cycling to India. But I don't know where this path will take me.
Wow.
So why do you think that fitness hasn't really been a priority in that culture?
I mean, growing up in my family, besides my dad, nobody ever was fit. Even my sister, who is a doctor, our culture promotes a lot of sitting around, talking, having tea and snacks. Nobody ever goes to work out. And in fact, if you work out too much, people look down on you. Like you're working, like my mom tells me, oh, take it easy. Stop, you're doing too much. But I feel like there's a huge shift where that is changing, where people's mindsets are changing. Because there are new gyms opening up, like they have an Orange Theory not the Orange Theory, but something like the Orange Theory called the Cult, which is taking up in India. They also have the keto diet is now big in India too. So they're kind of tracking their macros. And the other issue is our food is also not conducive to a healthy being. I don't want to be my grandfather that only ate rice, potatoes, and lamb until he was 80 years old. So that
seems way healthier than what we do.
Well, I don't eat red meat, so that saves me. But I just our entire culture is just rice and more rice and more rice and more carbs. Like when I see my parents eat their food, they literally mix rice and quinoa. And I'm like, what are you doing? They're like, well, quinoa is healthier. I'm like, I understand, but you're literally mixing carbs and carbs. You need to mix if you did the quinoa, all right, throw in some cauliflower rice, which is essentially just cauliflower. But they don't understand that concept is not there. Getting back to spinning, I had my dad on the Peloton, and he was like, I'm addicted to this. He would come over, and when they were in the country, he would ride at least once or twice a day while he was here. So he loved it. So I think if I can get somebody like my dad on board who used to run marathons, I'm sure there's a market for it.
That's really cool.
Yeah, that's really cool.
But I just want to kind of point out that you went from never having ridden a spin bike to becoming a spin instructor, all because you found Peloton. Like, that's pretty powerful.
That's what I'm saying. Peloton is amazing. This whole revolution and I don't even think they realize it. I'm sure they do, but the stories that they have are generally, oh, I got my weight back, which to me is almost like the side effect of what has happened. Okay, I've gotten my weight back, but really the story is not what I've lost. The story is everything I've gained. I'm physically the best version of myself. I've taken what they've given me and I'm spreading that joy of indoor cycling. And I even mirror my classes definitely after Cody, after Robin. I even, this comes from somebody who's fearful of Robin's Tabata. I incorporate Tabata in my classes and my members love it. They're like, how many Tabata intervals do we have this ride? So I use what I have seen as successful. And for me, that comes as Peloton. So I feel like I'm like an unofficial Peloton brand ambassador. I don't go around preaching, but I am doing what they have taught me. And I feel like I was taught by the best. I even took so I'm certified with Mad Dog Spinning, but I also took a second Schwinn cert. And the stuff that I learned there is exactly what we do at Peloton. So it's very tested, true methods of indoor cycling that have proven results, except for the weights and the bike. But that's a different story. But let's not get into that.
Okay.
But yeah.
I understand. But you seem to be working, by my quick math, which we all know is not great, at like 50 something hours a week. How are you finding time to work out and still, be a mom and, I don't know, have a moment to yourself? Do you ever get a moment to yourself?
So the moment to myself doesn't happen very often, but this is where my 20-minute saunas come in. So what I've had to do is severely decrease my time on my Peloton bike because I do focus on strength more, especially on days like tomorrow where I am doing 2 45-minute rides back to back. My personal workout will be a 30 to 40-minute strength workout between whichever body parts tomorrow, and then core. I always do one of the core workouts off the Peloton too. And I pretty much incorporated myself all into Peloton strength. I don't even do any of my bodybuilding stuff. I do 100%. I'll be honest, Oliver Lee and Jess Sims, all of between their legs and glutes, their chest and back, and their arms and shoulders. And then I do a core workout. And I have different methodologies or why I would stack certain workouts. So I would usually do I did today was 15-minute glutes and legs. And then I did a 10-minute core. And then I did another 10-minute glutes and legs. And I finished off with a 10-minute climb to really soak in what I did on my legs. So there is a methodology as to how I pick my workouts. But for the main part, I'm 100% on Peloton board. I don't do anything outside of Peloton. I don't use any machines outside of my dumbbells or my Peloton bike. So finding time has been difficult, but luckily I do have days like today where I was at home, which is nice. I have my kids all day. But my husband has been a really great asset to helping me orchestrate things. And the other blessing has been the gym classes are really late at night, so I can tuck my kids in at night and then teach at 8 o'clock at night, except for tomorrow. So which is not too terrible.
I didn't realize that they did classes that late.
Yeah, so I have the 6:45 class is also not bad, but I usually pick them up. Again, as a teacher, I'm out of the building by 3 o'clock, so I have my kids from then until about 5:30, 5:45, and I get ready to go. And of course, because all our meals are prepped, and so we don't even think about cooking. Even the kids' meals are prepped. Like Brian has this down to a science, which is amazing. So I have to worry nothing. Like everyone is getting fed. I have food in the fridge. He has food in the fridge. So he has made it really easy for me to do all these things I have to do.
Well, do you guys ever see each other?
Yes, we do. So he also works full time. I don't want to, I don't want it to sound like he's a house husband, which would have been phenomenal, but he also works full time. And so we do see each other. Weekends are a big thing, especially Friday nights, Saturdays. Saturdays, I'm home all day. So that is like my day at home. That is when the house gets clean because granted, he's a great chef and takes care of everybody. The house looks like crap and I can't clean. So that's where I come in. Like literally today, all I did was clean all day, but that's fine.
That seems like a fair trade-off.
It does. That's a great balance.
Right. And then Sundays is usually my big day of tutoring and rides. So Sunday's schedule is almost a nightmare. I need to figure it out. So my day starts I tutor 8 to 10. And then I go directly to teach an 11 o'clock ride. Then I come back home, gobble something, take my oldest ice skating, and sometimes take both the kids ice skate. Well, the little one just hangs out, but take both of them so Brian can get some time to work out. And then I come home again, eat some dinner, and then go again tutor from 4 to 7. So Sundays have become a bit of a nightmare. So I have to figure that out.
Wow.
We're very fortunate that our kids don't do things. Makes
Oh my gosh. My oldest one
So that's
is
so much easier.
and she's also an inspiration to me. She is an athlete in the making. She was 2.5. Now I don't ice skate. My husband doesn't ice skate. We barely watch hockey. So at 2.5, she said, I want to ice skate. And I was like, yeah, okay. And it was nearly impossible to find somebody who would even take her out on the ice because I'm not going out there and hurting myself. So
Sure.
And so I found a program to take her, and she went out on the ice. They don't give them any like tools to like support them because they say that hinders their learning on how to stabilize themselves. So she literally fell every 10 seconds. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I just paid for 6 classes and she's never going to want to go back. And sure enough, we got in the car. She's like, Mom, when am I going back next? This is like 2.5. I was like, what is wrong with this kid?
I blame
And now
Frozen.
she's going to be 5 next week. And she actually just got invited to she's going to do her first official competition in March. And she was invited around December to do she was invited to the like a county competition where there were over 50 performances, and she nailed her performance, and I was incredibly proud. She's a little thing and got on the ice all by herself, did her routine to perfection, not even nervous. So sometimes I look at my own kids and I go, wow, I need to be like this. Like, she has learned this hopefully from someone.
That's awesome.
She doesn't see it, right?
She doesn't
like, she's
know
just
to
like,
be scared yet.
This is what I want to go do, and I'm going to go do it. Like,
You're right. So I feel like fear is a learned behavior. So I find that fantastic. I mean, my little one, I can't get her to do anything. She barely wants to touch a balloon. So she's scared of everything.
Balloons are awful, and she's right to hate them. I hate balloons so much.
Oh my God, he does. He does. He hates them so much.
So much. They're awful.
You and Aria would be friends.
We would be. And I would never buy her a balloon.
I did not buy any balloons for their party this year because her last year, I combined their birthdays since they're so close. So last year it was a Frozen theme. So of course I bought so many Frozen balloons. She pretty much cried every time a balloon looked at her. So
Yeah. I get it.
That's how Tom is.
I'm okay with Mylar balloons, but the other ones, like
Forget it.
the regular old-fashioned
The latex.
balloons,
Yeah.
ugh.
they actually don't sell latex balloons anymore because of the helium shortage. So they're stopping. Well, not all places, but there is a significant helium shortage. Essentially, once the helium runs out on Earth, we'll have to mine it from the moon, which will be a really expensive balloon. So you won't have to worry too much about latex balloons.
I didn't realize that was not a replenishing source.
Yeah, so the helium in the air is essentially useless. We can't harvest that in any way, shape, or form. The helium we use for balloons, aka in the tanks, it has to be mined out of rocks. Yep.
Well,
What that?
wow. Well, that's...
Well, then how will people talk with squeaky voices?
Yeah, what's going to happen?
I mean, you can always huff with those paint cans. I don't know.
No, nobody at home do that.
I am just kidding.
You're going to get us taken off. FCC is going to be after us.
Well, luckily, the internet's not regulated by the FCC,
I know,
so
I
we're
was just
okay.
being silly.
So huff away, people.
So anyway, so
they can
going
still
back
sue
to
us.
how I balance everything. So when I'm working, I'll stay at the gym later because I have an 8 o'clock class. I'll be done by 9. I'll stay at the gym. I'll do my Peloton digital there, and I'll be done by like 10. And I'll be home by 10:30. So that's not too terrible. And then days like today where I was home, I prefer to wake up at 4. Well, I woke up at 3 a.m., did my workout at 4 because I knew I wanted to spend the day with my kids and work around the house and stuff. And Shiloh had a cooking class. So I wanted to make sure I was free for them.
Yeah.
So I did my workout early. And I also like my sauna time. So I like to do that too.
But wait, if you're like staying at the gym until like 10:30 and you're getting up at 3:15, are you sleeping like 5.5 hours every night?
I need 6 hours. I sleep around 6 hours every night. Correct.
Oh my God. I'm jealous. I can't function on 6 hours of sleep. Like, it's just not a thing. It's not.
I've also gotten good at the 20-minute naps when I come home. So I do take a quick nap. My kids are great. They will literally sit next to me. I'll give them a couple snacks in bed. They'll sit in my bedroom. They'll watch TV. I'll lock the door. Nobody's going anywhere. And there's the bathroom's in my bedroom, so they can use the bathroom there. They do pretty well with my 20-minute nap so far. So the older one babysits the little one. It's great.
I love that. I love that you have taken a very complex schedule and you have made it work for you. That's fabulous because everybody has their own challenges.
Right. So when people tell me I don't have time, I literally just look at them like, what are you saying to me? Like, you have no idea. I think one of the things at Peloton, and again, the coaches are fantastic. And some of the things that really resonate with me is you make your own time, like you make your own decisions. And that is really what has been central to my focus when I plan everything. Literally every minute of my day is planned.
Wow.
And it has to be. If I want to be effective, if I want to accomplish everything that I want to, I even plan my rest time. I know tonight I'm actually getting my badass braids tonight. So I'm excited. So
I do love your braids. They're so awesome.
I know. I love it because it lasts like 2-3 days and I get them. I can't afford it every week. So I get them done like every other week. So I go get them done. And I know from like 8 o'clock to 10 o'clock tonight is total rest for me. And we're just hanging out, probably watching The Outsiders or whatever show my husband has me watching. I don't really watch TV, so he usually just picks a show and I just pretend to pay attention to what's going on. But
well, so all the things that have changed, all the things that you have shifted around, what do you feel like has changed the most since you found Peloton?
I have changed the most. That's it. Like everything about me, the person who I was, I look back and say, oh my gosh, I'm so happy I changed myself off that trajectory because I was heading into early osteoporosis. I had high cholesterol, I had high blood pressure, everything that I'm predisposed to genetically, I had back in December of 2018. I had my blood test done recently. All those things have gone away. So for me,
wow.
Why it's important is because I do want to beat my genetics to some extent. I do want to make sure I can give my very active little people the mom they need, because I would have loved to have a mom that would run around with me. My mom never ran around with me. My dad did, but my mom really never did. So for me, it's super important for me to be there for my kids and try to live as long as possible, because even my 4-year-old is very insightful. And she said to me one day, how old are you going to be when I'm 99? And of course, I am a very logical, I don't sugarcoat things, not even to a 4-year-old. I said, honey, I'm going to be dead. And my husband, Brian, got so mad at me. He was like, I can't believe you told a 4-year-old that. I'm like, well, when she's 99, I'm going to be up there. I'm going to be like 128. But that question really hit home with me, where it was like, no, I want to try. I never in my entire life thought about how old I wanted to be until my daughter asked me how old I would be when she was nearing the end of her life. And I thought to myself, if there's a way that I can do something about it, and I don't believe in supplements. I take no supplements. So let me disclose that too. I've had no surgeries related to weight loss or any kind of dietary modifications. So I believe in all natural. I believe in the power of I can. So I took it upon myself to do this. And Peloton just has these amazing instructors, these amazing, they share their recipes, they share their daily secrets, their daily routines. And honestly, this is going to sound really terrible, but I also learned from Mark Wahlberg what it takes to be a successful person. Not really emulating Mark Wahlberg, but when I saw his schedule about he wakes up at 4 a.m. to work out, that's really when it hit me. Why don't I do that? What am I doing at 4 a.m.? I am sleeping. Can I train myself to function on can I train myself to function effectively on 6 hours of sleep? And more so, work out early in the morning too, because I've never in my entire life worked out in the morning. I was an after work kind of workout girl. So for me, it was an entire overhaul into how my body works.
Well, I guess in a way, I kind of take inspiration from Mark Wahlberg too, but more like the Wahlburgers end of things.
Yeah, Tom, that's a stretch.
It's got his name in it. It's part of his brand. It counts.
So, when you're doing all these different things, you've got your workouts, you're eating differently, although it sounds like you don't focus that much on food. Who are your go-tos for Peloton? Who are you spending the most time with?
Oh, Oliver. Oliver and Ben. I'm pretty sure I'm dating Ben, but I'll be honest, though. As much as I love Oliver, and I have a picture of me and Oliver together, and I look mortified because he touched me. I'm not a big hugger. So I know people get upset when they don't want to be touched, but really I don't want to be touched by anybody. So like when Oliver like hugged me, I was like, I had like the face of disgust, but no, I love all of them and they're such great people, but my go-tos are definitely Ben, Robin, Cody, and then on the strength side, Jess Sims, Oliver, and sometimes Chase. And I always go to Emma for core. Emma, Robin, and even sometimes Olivia have good core workouts. So sometimes when I really hate to be like married to one instructor. They're all amazing. They all do amazing things and they all have great insights to add to things. So sometimes I'll change it up. I'll do an Andy Spears workout. I'll do a Jess King ride, who, by the way, is fantastic in studio. I never ride with Jess King. I still don't ride with Jess King at home. But I was like, you know what? I'm going to do 2 studio classes. I was going to go see Robin and Jess had the class after her. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to take a class with Jess too. Best decision ever. She's amazing in studio. But they're all amazing. I would take, if I could, and I'm almost there, I would take a class with every single person in studio. I sent you a picture of my Peloton wall. So
yes,
there's still a couple people that are missing off my wall, but they're all amazing in studio. Now, I wouldn't take all their rides at home simply because I need somebody to really wake me up in the 4 a.m. workouts where Cody was that guy, you know. Sometimes Ben has fun stories, not very often, but
poor
Zang.
Ben.
no, I love Ben. He knows this. He was my, when I got my year in review, he was my PR. I haven't gotten a PR in anything. He was my 60-minute PR, his climb ride.
Wow.
So, yeah, I tagged him in that and, you know, he was excited. But I don't really, I at this point, and like you said, I'm trying to, so I just started working as an indoor cycling instructor a little over a month ago. So I'm really now trying to find a new balance for me, because before it was, okay, I was doing 45-minute classes 2-3 times a week and then 30-minute classes, but I was doing like 30 minutes of strength every day. That's gone out the window because like you said, I need to sleep sometimes. So, so I'm trying to find a newer balance.
Yeah. And it takes time to shift and adjust and figure out what works and what doesn't whenever you have to make those shifts. So, I mean, that makes total sense to me. And I have to ask too, what are you doing on social media? Like, I see you on Instagram all the time. Are you in like all the Facebook tribes and everything too?
I am, but I'm not as active. I was very active in the Swarm, but not so much anymore. I do try to keep an open mind. I'm not as active as I'd like to be because I feel like it then just brings like drama and I don't have time for all of that. So I am an admin for the Peloton Teacher Warrior group. But there's really not anything exciting. Like I'm trying to like kickstart something, but I feel like teachers are just organically really busy people. And I totally understand that. I get it. So I'm trying to like kickstart like events and things, but I try to be a part of every tribe because I feel like every instructor, every instructor is amazing. So like when I went to go see Alex, I definitely posted once or twice in the Feel Good fam. And I will try to, the Swexies are the biggest group. So I'm definitely going to try to make it part of their, Riders Invasion in July. So I'll definitely try to go out there, but I try to keep an open mind. You know, I don't want to say like I belong to one tribe and one tribe alone.
Yeah, no, I totally get that.
You know, actually, to go back to what you had said before, the biggest thing I gained was my identity. So where I work currently, I literally feel invisible for other reasons that are out of my control. And with Peloton, I feel like I have claimed myself back. So my original leaderboard name was actually Teach Spin Mom. And somewhere around, October, I was injured and I was off the bike for 4 to 6 weeks and I was devastated. I was like, oh my gosh, here it goes, completely gone. And I realized at that point, I have become the person I was meant to be because of this amazing machine. I'm no longer scared to tell people that they're wrong. I'm not scared to stand up for myself or things that, let's say people have an issue with celebrations of Indian holidays being celebrated in a quote unquote Anglo-Saxon environment, as in where I live. So things of that nature, I've really taken in where, no, I'm not invisible. I come with a culture. I come with a story. I'm not going to sit there and pretend I'm not, I'm the wrong shade of white. So I'm just going to sit here and be quiet. So that for me has been a huge thing where I know that leaderboard names are supposed to be cute and funny, but I feel like I was hiding for so long where I needed to take ownership of my leaderboard name. So that's why it's PreGad86, even though nobody can say it. They call it PryGad, but that's it.
But that's what a fantastic reason. Like it matters what you think of it, and if it makes you feel empowered and it makes you feel strong, that's all that matters. That's awesome. I love hearing that because I feel like that the sense of community and what it does for people is what Peloton is all about.
Right.
So do you have any advice for people that are just now getting their bikes?
Oh my gosh. Okay. So padded shorts. I wore it for 3 months. I'm not ashamed. I wore padded shorts for 3 months. I used a gel seat, anything to get my fat ass on the bike. That's it. I didn't care how much the butt hurt. I had 30 minutes. I was getting on a bike because it's a consistency. And I think Peloton has really cornered that market where, oh my gosh, look, you can do a 10-minute ride. You can do a 20-minute ride. How much time do you have to invest right now? So that was really it. It's just consistency that you do something every day. It doesn't matter what that something is. You find something to do. You try to push through the pain and you make your time. I feel like there's a lot of guilt, mom guilt that people have like, oh, you have to spend every waking moment now that you've made babies. Now you've got to live your life for themselves. That's not true. You never stop being a person. Granted, you made babies, but they have their lives and you still have to live too. You have them for 18 years and they'll be, well, maybe less now, but they think they're adults at like 13 now. So, so I can't emphasize enough where there's no guilt in making you time. And again, I'm nothing special. I just wanted to claim my life back. I'm just your regular, average, hardworking person that just saw Peloton as this opportunity of really to become the best version of myself. And really, Peloton ended up becoming this magic solution that allowed me to work out whenever I want. It allowed me to do whatever I want with these amazing coaches.
It gave you the tools to do what you wanted to do.
Yeah, they do. Right. The tools are there. And it's just been so amazing to see that. Just the result in me, like I said, this has only been a year in the making. Like if I can accomplish this much in a year, I feel like I was sitting pretty for the last like 8 years and I haven't done anything novel. You know, I just was existing. I was doing my job. I was, going out with friends. I was making babies. Like okay, that's novel, but I wasn't doing anything to better myself. Let me rephrase that better. I never improved on me. So to me, it's just when I sit and reflect as to my journey with Peloton, it's been amazing what I have accomplished. Like I said, with only 40 minutes a day with Peloton. So yeah.
All those years before you were just resting up for this moment.
Yeah. And I can't say how grateful I am to, all the tribes that have taken me in. Like I've made a lot of friends in the Swexy Swarm, and one of my really good friends, Martin, I told him I'd give him a shout out. Him and I have talked almost every day for about a year. And it was just me looking for a friend in the Swexies at one point. And he's like, you need a gay boyfriend. I'm like, okay. So, he's in Chicago. And then I made a really great other friend from the Boo Crew. And she's in New York. So we're actually going to go up to the studio for my birthday next month. So, I've met such great people through this journey. And I've heard so many great stories because everyone has their own story of their journey, which is what makes it very special. And I'm also eternally grateful that, a gym, Crunch Fitness, took a risk on me and said, you know what, you seem like the personality that would really do great in the ride room. So it's you, go ahead, have at it. So to me, that is just a lot of trust into somebody who's completely new. I'm like, are you sure? I was like, are you sure you trust me? I don't even know how to turn on a mic. Like, so it's for me, it's huge that there were people who were willing to risk it with me. I mean, what do I bring to the table? I have a great understanding of microbiology and I have a great understanding of mathematics, not really so much in the fitness world. So I am self-learning at this point. But like I said, with Peloton coaches, I feel like I don't think I could have better coaches.
That's awesome. Well, I guess before we go, where can people find you on social media?
So yeah, feel free to follow me on Instagram. My handle is PRIGAD86, PreGad86, which is also my leaderboard name. So feel free to follow me on Peloton as well. I also have a great digital workout schedule. If anybody does want to follow what I did to boost up my strength, I have a great PDF format I'm willing to share. So let me know and just send me a message and I can share it to you.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for taking time out of what is clearly a busy schedule to
Yes,
join
now
us.
time for braids. Yes.
Well, enjoy your braids, enjoy your family time, and just chilling.
Yes.
And thank you again.
Absolutely. Thank you guys.
Have a good
You
night.
guys are awesome. Have a great
Thank
night.
you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
So what, pray tell, do you have in store for people next week?
Another awesome interview. We are going to be talking to Brendan Dunn. You might remember him from the amazing Humans of New York post that went crazy viral, not just on the Peloton page, but everywhere, all about how he had a Peloton and he wasn't using it. And he
Right.
was so frustrated. So we get to catch up with him, find out how things are going, and just in general, find out how he feels about all of that.
Awesome. So until then, where can people find you?
People can find me at facebook.com/Crystal D. O'Keefe. They can find me on Twitter or Instagram, on the bike, and of course the tread at Clip Out Crystal.
And you can find me on Twitter at Roger Kubert or on Facebook at facebook.com/Tom O'Keefe. You can find the show online at facebook.com/The Clip Out. While you're there, like the page, join the group, and of course, check out our brand new website, theclipout.com. And while you're there, sign up for the newsletter so you never miss a link or an article or a picture or a video or any of that stuff. So that's it for this one. Thanks for tuning in. And until next time, keep pedaling.
And running.